I'm Jeff Bakeman, the Vice President of Healthcare Solutions for Comport Technology, and today I am truly pleasured to introduce Isaiah Nathaniel, Vice President and CIO of Delaware Valley Community Health, as my guest to talk about FQs and healthcare advancement.
Let's start with this smile I have on my face. I can smile today because of the work that we've done and where we came from a technology stack. Prior to this, it was a frown. And the frown was because I was looking at an old database architecture. I was looking at old servers. I was looking at old hardware that just could not compete in today's healthcare world. And so we went big and we went bold, and we decided that we needed to do a hyperconvergent solution. But who am I? Isaiah Nathaniel. I just happen to be the Vice President and Chief Information Officer for Delaware Valley Community Health, a 52-year-old FQHC, federally qualified health center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We are located in 8 locations now. We have 360 employees. We see about 50,000 patients per year. That's about 158,000 visits. And we're in the traditional primary care space. That's adult medicine, internal medicine, pediatrics, dental, behavioral health, OBGYN, women's health, optometry, and MAT services. So we went from this old aging, the old architecture, that 3-2-1, and I'll even add a fourth 4-3-2-1 architecture. And because of what we did, we didn't lose one job during the pandemic. Our patients, they are able to see their provider via telehealth. Our staff are able to work and earn a paycheck via telework. And that's all because of the infrastructure that we did. All of those months of work. Before the pandemic, we only had 5 staff members. We're now up to 14. And that's with this infrastructure because we were able to reduce our spend on some of the licensing, reduce our spend on some of the costs that were just hardware costs. And by bringing that back into the organization, I was able to increase my staff.
So how about we go down and take a look at the data center and give everybody a viewing of what you've actually built?
I think that'd be great. What more better way to do that than to see it in action, right? I'm turning my camera off as well. And let's begin. So as you can see here, everyone, we are logging into our applications via Citrix. We'll log into our Citrix storefront, our workspace, and then after we do that, all of our apps are presented to us that we can click on. We will then go into our EHR, which is Next Gen Healthcare. We will launch the application. Once we launch the application, it will broker itself, and then we're presented with a login screen. So as you can see here, this is doing all of the brokering, connecting to Citrix and the like. But all of that is being powered by Nutanix. And as you can see, it goes through selecting the printers, selecting the default printers, and then the login screen shall appear. Once the login screen appears, we're able to log into the EHR. And so this is what we use Nutanix for, to be able to be as speedily as possible. And we're doing this virtually. So doing this in a virtual manner, it has to come through to the video. So it's even faster when you're actually looking at it versus what we're seeing here. So if that was fast to you, it's even, just imagine it being even faster when you're sitting right at the desk. And as I'm talking, we're able to get right into the application. We're able to look up a patient, and we're just going to see how the medication module is going through. And just for the purposes of the recording, we are using a test patient, so no actual EPHI is being shown here that would violate us or put us into a HIPAA situation. So very quickly, we're just searching for a medication. You see how quick the medication bar comes up. And this is using 593. This isn't even the newest version of NextGen. So the prescription comes up, we actually can save it, hit select, and just like that, we are able to prescribe medication. So what we were going through before, that whole process would be between 3 minutes to 5 to 6 minutes, depending upon where you were located in one of our buildings. And as you can see, that at the point of care is just as simple as less than a minute. So we made this dramatic increase, and all of this is powered by Nutanix and the AHV that we're taking advantage of. And we're also doing this actual workstation demo via the Aruba wireless. So we're not even hardwired in, and we're still seeing this performance improvement that we are right now. So when I say I'm a happy CIO, that is exactly what I am, because where we came from to where we are today, and we continue to make strategic investments. And the time of day we're doing this, we have about 500 or so Citrix sessions going. So this is not like we're just doing this on a single server where we are making this not as live or as in production as you would see on a normal basis. No, this is during the day. So that just shows you, and we have about 600 sessions going, that just shows you the power and the simplicity and the ability to be strategically aligned to all the things that you need to do throughout the day. So as we complete here, we'll just close out of EHR and then we'll go into the EPM, just so that we can see it's the same thing in our EPM system. So we're just going to save out of here. We're not going to save all of that. And then we're just going to go right back into our Citrix environment. We're going to open up the EPM. And after it opens, we'll have the login screen, and then we'll be good to go. So we're already brokered and connected, starting right up. And then here we are into EPM. So you're able to continue with your day. You're able to log into the system and have a great time looking throughout the EPM system. And we could go into all the other applications that we have. We can go into the appointment book. We can go into Google Chrome, all of the Citrix apps. We can go into all the different Citrix apps that we're deploying and how they perform and function. But this just gives you a really, really good showing of how fast NextGen actually really can be. And to that point, a lot of times some people think that, our EHR is not that good. How have you looked at your infrastructure? What type of environment do you have that's powering that EHR, where you should be able to regain or gain some efficiencies by making sure that it is the proper backbone, the proper network infrastructure, the proper storage that you need to be successful when you're running enterprise applications like this. So when Delaware Valley Community Health took advantage of Nutanix, took advantage of AHV, knowing that we had such an IOP intensive application as NextGen is, we are seeing the efficiencies that we're seeing. So I want to thank you for taking a look at this demo. I want to thank you for just seeing a little bit into what we're doing. And again, we're using this on our Wi-Fi system. And so that is passing through all the way down to the Nutanix hardware. So thank you again for taking the time to see a little bit about what Delaware Valley Community Health is doing with our internal infrastructure.
How many more visits can we do a day or annually because of just that one change?
We can go from an MD perspective from 17 to 23 very easily.
What are some of the financial outcomes that have come through the investment that have made it so you could expand your staff? What type of those ROIs have you seen that have made a difference to the patient, to the clinical staff, to the nurses, and the people we serve?
When I went to my board, I said, my ROI should be 5 years, between 4 and 5 years. It was 6 months. It was 6 months. And why was it 6 months? Is because I got to reduce that licensing costs.
When something's changed so drastically, it changes for patients, it changes for clinicians, and the executive staff and nurses here as well. What's some of the feedback that you've received from not only patients, but say clinicians on their experience? Because the experience that I've seen has been drastic. I can only imagine what it is for the people affected daily.
I chuckle because what I'm going to say is the very first email I got after we made this flip over a weekend, one of the clinicians said to me, "Hey, when are we switching over to that new system?" I said, "We already did." They said, "It's like butter." It just doesn't get any better than that. When a clinician doesn't even know that you made this flip, but they've noticed some improvements, to say it's like butter, I'm hanging that on my wall. I should get a plaque that says it's like butter, because that's directly from the front lines, directly from the clinician's mouth, who, for me, part of my strategies, part of my platform is that quadruple aim and understanding provider burnout.
So with the complications of growth, the amount of patient visits going up, the amount of people you're seeing going up, everything, has your uptime on this enterprise gotten better?
If I could find some wood in this area where we're doing this interview, I would be knocking on it right now. But, every CIO wants that 6 nines. Every CIO wants that 6 nines. And I'm happy to report, we just received our 1-year report on the system uptime, and we've achieved it. And so when you have that and you can rely on that, the sky's the limit.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
That's a phenomenal thing to be able to say in this day and age.
Yeah.
Isaiah, as always, thank you for your time. I know how valuable it is, and look forward to many, many more years of success together as a team. Thank you.
This partnership has been wonders for me. So I want to thank you for your partnership, and thank you for your teams all coming to be a part of the Delaware Valley Community Health mission.
Thank you.